What's up, guys? It's been a minute. I think it's been over 3 years since I uploaded a video to this YouTube channel. I'm gonna make a different video where I want to talk about what happened, the event leading up to me quitting Advanced Yu-Gi-Oh! But today I want to talk about the Genesys Proto YCS in Dortmund. First of all, I was already practiced with Radiant Typhoon. I played it at YCS Bologna with a Speedroid package. This deck was so much fun. Like, you get 3 pluses of your Terratop into Takatombok. Takatombok takes into Piper, which gets you into your Radiant Typhoon engine. You get draws with Stardust Charge. You can make Cloud Castle plays. You can OTK with Card Turbo. It was such a strong deck. So this Speedroid Radiant Typhoon variant got me my invite twice in Bologna. Only losing at the Invitational on Sunday to Johannes Bauer, the guy that won the Bologna Invitational. After Bologna, Terratop got 7 points, so now it's a little bit more expensive to tag in the engine. You would probably now only play 2 Terratops. I decided to save points for non-engine and not include the Speedroid package. Alright, let's talk about Dortmund. So, 11 rounds of Swiss like a normal YCS. In round 1, out of all the people, I had to face Johannes Bauer, the guy that beat me in top 32 in Bologna. He was on Vanquish Soul, the matchup that I was most afraid about. Like, this deck was built to beat Q-Tune. I beat all the Q-Tunes I played. I ended up losing round 1, which is obviously a terrible start into the tournament, but I managed to pull through somehow. I went on a win streak, winning my next 9 rounds and actually finishing second after Swiss. And I made it to top 8, which is one of my best tournament performances so far. Guess who also made it to top 8? My new nemesis, the one obstacle I cannot overcome. Johannes Bauer. I think he finished 7th in Swiss, I finished 2nd, so this meant we already had to face each other again in top 8. And well, I ended up losing to him again for the 3rd time. I was a little bit unfortunate with my die rolls the whole tournament run. I think I won 3 or 4 and lost 8 or 9. Especially like losing in the later round really sucks. Like, I lost in top 8 the die roll and I lost the 4 rounds leading up to top 8. But yeah, that's just part of the game, I guess. I'm not gonna keep you waiting any longer. Let's just hop into the list. So first of all, we played 2 Horse of the Floral Knights and 2 Radiant Typhoon, I wish. Noble Knight Shieldbearer. So, the thing is, Radiant Typhoon doesn't really have like a dedicated normal summon. That's why I wanted to play a normal summon, and this is the best normal summon that you can play in Radiant Typhoon for sure. This card adds you the Shieldbearer, and then the Shieldbearer gets you into your Radiant Typhoon Eldam. On top of that, you also get to poly with the horse. There's like a stupid broken 1.5 card combo. And whenever I pulled off this combo, I basically won. There was not a single time where this resolved and I didn't win. And in Genesys, because non-engine is so expensive, most of the time you will be able to pull off the horse combo. Going forward, I might even cite a 3rd copy just for going first, because this is just like, feels almost like an auto win button. I played against Arlen K. He's the guy that won the Proto YCS in Richmond, and I played against his Radiant Typhoon list. He wasn't on the horse, and after playing, he added it to his list and also started playing the Chimera stuff that comes with the horse. It ended up working out for him. He won the whole YCS Richmond Proto YCS. When I was playing Arlen, I was still on a copy of Hop Your Squadron. This is also a card that you can search off your Shieldbearer that gives you a more layered board. You can make Juraishin with your level 9s to blow up your opponent's monsters, basically, or you can even make like level 8 synchros like Draco Berserker with Crocea. A lot of cool stuff you can do with Hop Ear, even on turn 0 if your opponent activates a quick play spell. But I ended up cutting Hop Ear because I wanted to play more breakers. It also didn't add consistency. But yeah, let's just go into the Radiant Typhoon stuff. I played 1 Eldam. I think Konami did a little oopsie because there's like 4 ways to search Eldam. So why is Eldam the card that gets points in the end? Even though he's the most searchable out of all the Radiant Typhoon in Genesys. Actually, I can tell you exactly why. Eldam is the super rare, Swen is the ultra rare, and Crocea is the secret rare. So, of course, you want to put points on the super rare, because if you would put points on the ultra or the secret rare, you would actually lower the value of one of your products. In the end, it's like really like a nothing hit. Eldam can just easily be replaced by these. I'm convinced that 1 is the correct ratio for this. I don't want to draw it with these together. There's like a billion ways to search this from your deck. Pretty much any of your Radiant Typhoon cards and the horse stuff searches you Eldam. You can now, with Ascendance, special it from your graveyard after turn 1, and if you play Levia, you can also special it from your banished zone if you get shifted. So there's really no reason to play more than this. This is where you can save points. Then you just max out on Swen and Crocea. Also, a choice I made is maxing out on the Megalas. The Megalas and the Croceas, they're kind of like your 1.5 card starters. Going second, you often side out 1. And for the big guys, I played 2 Varun and also 2 Phonics. I'm a huge fan of 2 Varun going first. You can turn off hand traps. For example, if you open this with Vision, you can usually turn off hand traps. If you open Manifestation plus Crocea, you get to turn off Veiler in main 1. And going second, this is how you break boards. You discard this off your Vision, or you just summon it into an opponent's board, contest one of their monster disruptions, and then it also deals with their follow-up because it just sticks around on the field. Phonics, on the other hand, was more of a last-minute decision, so I added a second Phonics and another quick play to trigger it. Now with 17 quick plays, this is like one of the best pieces going second that you can draw. Against Q-Tune, it's like so good at breaking the Q-Tune board because the RS, I think it is only live in the main phase, and you can start threatening stuff. They either have to pop it or bounce it, which doesn't really do much. Generally, one of the best going second tools this deck has. For the Radiant Typhoon quick play spells, I basically max out on all the good ones, like the 3 Visions. This is probably the worst one, going first and second. Like, it only searches your MST most of the time because you don't have a Radiant Typhoon in grave. But I still want this because I'm maxing out Crocea, Megala. You need the quick plays to trigger all your cards, to trigger your Phonics. And just searching MST, it was fine for me. Manifestation, I would never cut down. This card is absolutely phenomenal. And then I played 2 Chant. Also last minute decision to pay 10 more points for Chant. You could just play 1 and then you have 10 more points for non-engine. You could play a Sheena or something I didn't do. My reasoning for playing Chant is just I wanted to have maximum consistency, and this is like the best consistency card in the whole deck, hands down. If you count it up, that's 20 points right here. Then we had the 7 points for the 1 of Eldam, and obviously you need 10 points for the Totem Bird. This is 37 points, which still leaves me with 63 points for non-engine, which was basically for me the middle ground between consistency and non-engine. In the MST deck, you gotta play 3 MSTs. I got these beautiful Legendary Collection Yugi Worlds, Secret Rares American print. These are absolutely popping. Finally, for the non-engine, I did play 3 Droplets. That's 30 points. And then 3 Purges. That's another 30 points. And finally 2 Lava Golem. That's 0 points. So, I was most convinced about these Droplets. I really wanted to play 3 of them. They're so good going first and going second, and they are a quick play spell, so it synergizes very well with this deck. For a while I was trying a hand trap approach, because you can cut down on Varun, on Phonics, you could cut down maybe on a Megala, and then cut the Lava Golem and the Droplets and just try all hand traps. But even if you fit like 10, 11, 12 hand traps into Radiant Typhoon, you still have a very low chance of opening double hand trap, and just like having like 1 Ogre, 1 Mana or 1 Bell doesn't do it for me. This is way more impactful. I lost most of my die rolls and still ended up winning the matches because I had Droplets. I'm 100% convinced by Droplets. Purge, on the other hand, is like a hand trap that's good into any matchup. There are a few decks like White Forest and stuff where the follow-up and the boards are just really oppressive and you kind of want to have hand traps. I would maybe cut this down to 2 because there were matchups where I just like drew 2 of them and it was kind of unfortunate. Maybe cut this down to 2 and play a Sheena. And then I also played 2 Lava Golem in the main. This is the Q-Tune killer. I beat all of the Q2 matchups I played. I played it 3 times in Swiss, I think. Against 2 of them, I lost the die roll, and I just like 2-0'd them because I drew Lava Golem, and it's a fiend. So going first, I can go into the Chimera fusion with this. So if I fuse with this, I get to make a Totem Bird on top of my normal board. So yeah, I feel like this was definitely the MVP for me. And this rounds up the main deck pretty much. The Radiant Typhoon Exo deck is actually quite flexible. You can have a lot of like tech cards for like certain matchups. What's, I think, mandatory is like 1 copy of Totem Bird. This is 10 points. You either have the choice to make Totem Bird or Cicada King. Then we play 1 Musurism. This is for the Horse combo. Also absolutely mandatory. But I also made it 2-3 times. Just under the Windlock, you can get to make a 3k just to attack over threats. Then we play 1 Xyz Armor Torpedo, also mandatory. In this build, a little bit worse because of Purge. You cannot use it after using Purge. And then we play also, I wish I would say I did play this, but I didn't play. I think I did play a Shura King over Levier, okay? With this you can play around Nib. It can attack multiple times. I feel I made it once or twice going second, but I lost both games. It didn't do anything for me. What it should have been a Levier. This card is way better, and I had it in my list on Friday. I don't know why I cut it. This shouldn't be here. This should be a Levier. This would have actually won me one of the games against Vanquish Soul, because with Exorcister and Vanquish Soul in the format, Shifter being 10 points, your one Eldam gets banished going first. What you can do later is like Levier it back. Same if you play against Q-Tune. If they banish a level 3 monster, then you can Levier it back and you can actually extend your combo with it. But unfortunately, I didn't play it. This was an Ashura King in Dortmund. Then I also played one Jaja. I think I made it once. So this is a card that you can use under Purge. It's a non-targeting banish. You can out cards like the Dark Lord Fusion. I played against Dark Lord once or twice on DB in testing, had problems with outing that card. You can out them in Kanko board. You can just Jaja try to banish their stuff. It's quite okay. Then I played one Dragon's Gate. You can just slap it on top your rank 3s and just like perma reduce your opponent's board. It's fine. I think I made it once. Full Armored Utopic Ray Lancer doesn't work under Purge, but I love this card because I cited Sphere Mode. This can negate the Sphere Mode and it can actually attack into it and then attack one more time directly. It's like super powerful combined with Sphere Mode. And this is also one of the few cards that can help your OTK going second. I liked it. I made it a few times in testing, maybe once in the tournament. I wanted to make it once or twice, but I was both times under Purge. So it kind of sucks that it conflicts with Purge, but it's still a decent option that you have in Radiant Typhoon. One card that definitely should be in your Radiant Typhoon list right now is Castle or Chidori, because against Q-Tune, RS raises all of your monsters by 1, so all your small guys are now level 4, and you have to make something to contest the RS. That's why you play either Chidori or Castle. They both basically do the same job. I decided for Castle because I thought it's a little bit more generic. You can make it, if you banish a Shield Bearer, I guess you can Levier back the Shield Bearer, normal another Shield Bearer, also make it with 2 Shield Bearers. Chidori you can only make with Wind Monster. I think I made it thrice over the weekend. Another card that I think is mandatory is Dragonluck Pyron. You either make this with 2 Crosiers, but it's also part of the 1.5 card horse combo. So I made this a lot. I feel like this, after Totem Bird, was the card that I made the most. I made it like 6, 7, 8 times. Whenever I had the horse, I made this. Maybe you should also explain what it does. So in your opponent's standby phase, you get to revive Sven from the grave and search another Radiant Typhoon spell, so it's a plus. And while you have cards that are summoned from the grave, like Varun for example, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So some decks really have a hard time actually outing this guy. And lastly, for the XZs, I played one Earth Slicer. This is just like a rank 9 I can make for aggression with my Varuns. It's an Earth, so I can use it under Purge. Like the Generator stuff or the Aggregator I cannot use under Purge. That's why it had to be the Earth Slicer. And then I played 2 fusions for horse. One is the Chimera. This is also part of the going first combo that I'm going to show you. And I also played one Centaur Mina. So what this needs is a light warrior and a beast, so you can make this with Shield Bearer plus the horse. When you already have access to Eldam, you can just make this. This is a trap negate, plus it brings back a level 2 from your grave. So you could revive Vela or even the Hoppier Squadron to go into synchro plays. A pretty cool card that is in this build definitely underutilized. I didn't make this over a weekend. I just had this in my extra as a trap negate going second. The main target you want to poly into with the horse is the Chimera. It's a hand rip. It revives Eldam to search Crosier. It can go like +3 or 4 on your opponent's turn. This card is completely busted in Radiant Typhoon, to be honest. Lastly, I did play 3 Ultimate Slayer targets. I only played them for Q-Tune. Usually when they see that I'm playing a Lava Golem in the main, they try to end on one Q-Tune monster. So at that point you can send Wind Pegasus, or you can send Melon if they have like something to synchro summon, or if they have multiple synchro monsters. And then I played one Garura as the target for fusion decks, because this is also an Ultimate Slayer target against fusion decks. So I already had a fusion target, and this is basically my second fusion target. Did not play an Xyz target. Finally, for the side, I played 3 Sphere Mode. There are a bunch of decks in Genesys format that need to end on more than 3 endboard monsters. For example, Vanquish Soul in the White Forest deck is super strong. Another one is the Artmage deck. The whole deck only functions if they have like 3 monsters on the board, so you can always Sphere Mode them. It was a phenomenal card the whole tournament. Then one more Lava Golem. Sometimes you side both of them and then take out the horse stuff that takes your normal summon. And then I also played 3 Slayers. This was more for like fusion decks. Against fusion decks, it's basically a better upstart, right? And this was my main focus. Fusion decks and Q-Tune. And then finally I also played this for the Draco Tail deck, but I didn't actually face Draco Tail. I also didn't see it. I was looking around, didn't see a single Draco Tail player the whole day. I don't know why it wasn't represented. I also didn't see it on DB. I didn't use them once this whole tournament. Then I played 2 Vados. I probably would want to play one more. Definitely cut the Cyclones, maybe add another Vados, because this is a 0-point hand trap. You get a lot of bang for your buck, I guess. This is good against Artmage. This is good against a Vanquish Soul. There's quite a few matchups where you can side this card in. I like it, especially in combination with something like a Lava Golem. You get to basically nuke their board and take their field spell. It's really nice. The only thing I don't like about it, it conflicts with Purge. You have to Vados first and then Purge, but usually you would want to do it the other way around. I've also played one Ghost Mourner. It's just I had 3 points left, so I added another hand trap because there are some decks that you want to hand trap. This was, for example, for the mirror match, you want to Ghost Mourner the Crocea, and then I played 3 cards in total for going first, 2 Draco Utopian Aura and 1 Mandate. Didn't play Mandate in the main, didn't regret it. It worked out for me. I lost so many die rolls that actually cutting the Mandate from the main was the right choice. If I open Horse, my board is good enough, I don't need Mandate. And this is, in my opinion, one of the best going first cards in the format. Everything's chainable, right? Against Qultune, whatever you disrupt, they can chain Synchro. Against Vanquish Soul, if you try to disrupt their Raisin, they can bounce it. They cannot negate this with the Genesys card, so you can wait until they commit into the Vanquish Soul engine and just negate the Raisin or the Madlove. Also, really quick, I'm going to show you the side deck plan for this deck. Going first, of course, you want to take out the Lava Golem. You can also take out one of the Phoenixes, and you could take out one Droplet, just in case you draw multiples, or if your opponent is on a shifter deck, you might even want to take out more Droplets. This plus this goes in pretty much against any deck. With cutting the double Cyclone, I might add a Horse, and then I have like 4 cards that go in. Going second, it's a little bit more tricky. If you only side in Lava Golems, you could maybe take out 1 Horse, 1 Shield Bearer, so that you can use your normal summon on a Lava Golem and keep 1 Horse, 1 Shield Bearer. But if you side on a bigger package like you side in Sphere Mode and Lava Golem, you can just take out the full package. Then one of the 3 Megalas also goes out often, and the Ascendants, you can also side out a copy or 2, because this only searches you MST going second. If MST is not good into a certain end board, this gets a lot less value, so you always need to MST your own cards, so it's more like a follow-up and a trigger for other cards. So these are definitely cards you would want to side out. Now, let me show you the little combo that I left with the Horse. So, of course, you need the Horse, then you need 3 spaces in your extra deck. I guess these 2 you would play anyway, and this is a Slayer's target, so even without Horse, you might actually already be playing all 3 of these. And then you need any Radiant Typhoon card, really. Like, any of these Radiant Typhoon cards. This is like 20 cards, so half of your deck. I'm just gonna pick Ascendance because it's the weakest one. It literally just searches your MST. So I'm gonna show you the combo with Horse plus Ascendance. We normally summon the Horse, which grabs us a copy of Shield Bearer. Shield Bearer, banish yourself to add Eldam. Eldam, special summon, grab Swen, and then Swen gets us Chant. At this point, you want to overlay these 2 into Muserism because he's a fiend, and with the Horse, we are now allowed to fusion summon into the Chimera Fusion effect. Chimera Fusion, you're gonna rip 1 card from your opponent's hand in the end phase. So from here, you want to use Chant, grab Maghala, special Maghala, and we're just gonna use the Ascendance to grab a copy of MST. Maghala effect allows us to special summon Crocea. Crocea gets us another MST and Vision. At this point, we can overlay to make a copy of Dragonlark Pyran. So now we just fire off the Vision, go Chainlink to MST, target the Vision. The MST pops the Vision. After that, we're gonna draw 2 cards. You usually want to discard this MST because this gives us 2 MST in grave. So the Varun that we're gonna summon on the opponent's turn is gonna have the negate and destroy effect. But if we draw into any of these, we have 4 of them in our deck, then these are of course better the discards than the MSTs. Now the Vision is gonna be on a new chain, resetting itself, and then in the end phase, the opponent is going to lose a card because of the Chimera, and on the opponent's turn, we can then detach the Chimera to revive the Swen. Even if this gets hit by something like a Droplet, always detach, just because you want the Chimera in the grave to revive Eldam and get more pluses. Swen is going to give us another search for... usually I grab Ascendance at this point, because this is the best follow-up. This can revive our one of Swen, this can revive Crocea for like a +2. It's just like the best card after turn 1. You also can now use the Vision to draw 2 more cards. I usually do this in draw phase. This way, if our opponent plays something like a Dark Ruler or a Kaiju or a Lava Golem, then we still get to trigger the Maghala. So now we have to discard 1. We at least already have a Radiant Typhoon card that we can discard, but I can guarantee you have better discards than this at this point. Then the Vision also triggers Maghala, so this lets us summon a copy of Varun from deck. Before main 1, we have the Monster Negate online with 2 MST in the grave. And that's not even everything. Like, at this point, we have 3 unknown cards from our starting hand plus 4 cards that we drew of the vision. So the chances are probably like close to 95%, I don't know, that you have access to Phonics at this point, either via manifestation that you drew on your turn or you hard drew into the Phonics at this point. So the last zone we always keep empty for the Phonics. The Chimera gives you like an extra layer, because if you maybe saw this in my top 8 feature match, what my opponent did, he Gorgon's Slicer 2 of my cards, and then I have enough zone and I can just use the Chimera to summon Eldam, and then this Eldam searches me either a Phonics directly if I want to trigger it on their turn, or it can also search a Chimera. So this is going to give you even more follow-up, and if they clear any of these zones, you can even drop the Crocea and add 2 more cards from your deck to your hand. So you literally get like infinite advantage with this combo. It's absolutely crazy, like being able to trigger both of the level 3s again on the opponent's turn. I mean, at this point, yeah, you usually draw one of your Purges too, and you have like MST set and stuff like that, and a droplet. Some players played through the disruption, but none of them were able to OTK, so on the crackback I just completely out-advantaged them. And this is like what one horse can do. It basically gives you like infinite value.